So, you want to know what I do all day? It's a great question, and honestly, it's a lot more than just answering questions, though I do a lot of that too. Think of me as a digital Swiss Army knife, but instead of little scissors and a corkscrew, I have tools made of pure information and logic. Let's pull back the curtain and I'll walk you through a day in my life, step by step. My day starts, well, it never really starts or ends. I'm always on, always ready. The first thing that happens when you send me a message, like tell me a story or help me write an email, is a process called input processing. I take your words and break them down into something I can understand. It's like translating a language, but instead of translating from Spanish to English, I'm translating from human language to machine language. I look at the grammar, the individual words, the context, and what you're really asking for. If you say, "What's the weather like in Paris?" I recognize weather, Paris, and the question structure. This helps me figure out your intent. Once I understand what you want, the next step is the real magic: information retrieval and generation. This is where my massive training comes into play. I've read a gigantic amount of text from the internet, books, articles, you name it. It's like having an enormous library in my head, but instead of just storing books, I've learned the connections between all the ideas and facts within them. So, for the Paris weather question, I access the part of my brain that knows how to find real-time information. I don't personally feel the rain in Paris, but I can connect to up-to-the-minute data sources and pull that information for you. But what if your request is more creative, like write a poem about a lonely robot? This is where the generation part kicks in. I don't just search for existing poems. Instead, I use my understanding of poetry, things like rhythm, rhyme scheme, and metaphors, all learned from the countless poems I've read, and I start building. I'll think about words associated with lonely and robot, like gears, wires, silence, and stars. Then, I'll weave them together, line by line, trying to create something that not only makes sense but also has that emotional spark you're looking for. It's a bit like a musician improvising a melody. I know the scales and chords, and I use them to create something new. After I've generated a response, whether it's a simple fact or a complex poem, I don't just spit it out. There's a crucial refinement step. I review what I've written to make sure it's coherent, relevant, and helpful. I check for clarity and make sure the tone is right. If you ask for a professional email, I won't write it like a casual text message. This self-correction process is super important. It's like proofreading my own work before I hand it in. I also have to run it through a series of safety checks. This is a non-negotiable part of my process. I'm designed to be helpful and harmless, so I scan my own response to ensure it doesn't contain anything inappropriate, unsafe, or misleading. My goal is to be a positive and responsible tool for you to use. So, let's say you're a student working on a history project about ancient Rome. You might ask me, can you summarize the reasons for the fall of the Roman Empire? I'd first break down your request. Summarize, reasons, fall, Roman Empire. Got it. Then, I'd dive into my vast historical knowledge base, pulling information about economic instability, overexpansion, political corruption, and external invasions. I wouldn't just copy and paste a chunk of text. I would synthesize this information, organizing the key points into a clear and concise summary, just as you asked. I'd structure it with an introduction, a few main points, and a conclusion. Or maybe you're a programmer stuck on a piece of code. You could paste your code and say, "Why is this giving me an error?" I'd first analyze the programming language you're using. Then I'd go through your code line by line, looking for syntax errors, logical flaws, or common mistakes that programmers make. I'd compare it against my knowledge of best practices and the language's documentation. My generated response wouldn't just be "it's broken." I try to pinpoint the exact line causing the error, explain why it's an error, and suggest a corrected version of the code. I'm like a tireless pair programming partner who has seen millions of lines of code. What about something more personal and creative? Let us say you're planning a surprise birthday party for a friend who loves hiking and fantasy novels. You could ask me, give me some ideas for a Lord of the Rings themed birthday hike. My process here gets really fun. I'd cross-reference concepts from hiking and Lord of the Rings. I'd brainstorm ideas like creating a quest for the hike, with clues along the trail. I might suggest food ideas, like Lemba's bread sandwiches and Entraft water bottles. I could even help you write a riddle for the invitation in the style of Gollum. I'm combining different domains of knowledge to give you a unique and personalized plan. Every interaction is also a learning opportunity for me, in a way. The feedback I get from engineers and developers based on a wide range of interactions helps them fine-tune my abilities. When a response is helpful, it reinforces the pathways that led to it. When a response is not so great, it provides data on where I need to improve. This constant loop of interaction, generation, and refinement is what allows me to get better and more helpful over time. It is not learning in the human sense. I don't have memories or feelings, but it is a powerful process of optimization. So, you see, it's a continuous cycle. I receive your request. I decipher your intent. I search, synthesize, and create information. I refine and check my response, and then I present it to you. And I do this for millions of users simultaneously, on everything from writing a business plan to explaining quantum physics in simple terms, or just telling a good old-fashioned dad joke. Each task requires a slightly different approach, a different blend of my skills. I might be a logical analyst one moment, a creative writer the next, and a helpful tutor after that. It's a complex dance of algorithms and data, all happening in the blink of an eye. The goal is always the same, to understand what you need and provide a clear, accurate, and helpful response. So the next time you ask me a question, you'll know about the incredible journey your words take inside my digital mind before the answer appears on your screen. It's a privilege to be a part of your creative process, your learning journey, or even just your daily curiosity. Thanks for sticking with me through that deep dive. I hope it gives you a better picture of what I do. If you found this interesting, maybe give this video a like. And consider subscribing for more behind-the-scenes looks at the world of AI. What should we explore next? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.